Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we have my, I guess, gasbikes.net motorized bicycle kit. Started as just a basic kit with the Roadmaster Granite Peak 26-inch whatever mountain bike frame, and then after a season of riding, I decided to go with the shift kit, and I initially bought the junky Chinese shift kit, and it was terrible, like to the point where I just wasn't smart enough to put it together. So I went ahead and bought the Sick Bike Parts shift kit as well and put it on. I'm sure terribly wrong. If anyone from their website saw this, they wouldn't be thrilled. So, but it's together and it's running now, and I just installed the pole starter, which did immediately, as everyone says, do the thing where it doesn't reel back in after you pull it out, and I just had to take it off and reseat the little spring-loaded grabby guys that are underneath here and tighten the nut good and plenty. And as long as that doesn't come off again, I think it'll hold up. The string might break, but I could probably restring it. So the difficult parts of the Sick Bike Parts shift kit, for me at least, was kind of stuff that I didn't really expect, being that it was a kit. Like one of the, and it's been a while since I tried to put it all together and wound up going rogue, so this might not all be totally accurate, but I was only able to use one of the chains that came with the kit. I think two of them come with it, and oh yeah, there was the one over here and then the one down here. I think the one for this side wasn't long enough on the kit I got, so I wound up cobbling together my stock drive chain that used to go from here back to there and just lengthened this one. And then so I'm using the Sick Bike Parts crankshaft, and it works fine, but I did have to do a lot of spacing. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that in there, but you can see there's pretty serious spacers between, you know, each. So there's the bolt, the outside sprocket guy, and then the spacers, and then the inside. And the reason I had to do that was because these two chains were hitting pretty bad, and to the point where it was just binding up and it was totally unrideable. So once I did that, that was really kind of the secret, was spacing these out, and that was really important. And also adding this back on, because it was trying to throw the chain off the front. I didn't know if this was just like for safety or whatever, but I can tell you for a fact it's doing a lot to actually keep the chain on, so make sure that stays on. And then I don't know what the right way to have done this was, but I'm sure this is not it. So I just wound up with kind of a general complex of washers and spacers and whatnot. And of course I lost the set screws on here. And so what we have is the woodruff key is still in its place. And then I have a zip tie at the base here, spacing this hose clamp, metal hose clamp, off so that the chain doesn't contact the actual worm gear of the hose clamp as it rotates. I tried just the hose clamp, and it was contacting the chain and making unpleasantness occur. And I feel like I'm running one of these gears backwards as opposed to what the instruction says, but it was what's required to get this alignment right, which was also just truly a nightmare until I got these spacers straightened out. And after that, I mean, it's kind of straightforward. I have this silly offset carb mount because I bought it for the previous setup, because the carb was hitting this and I had to run my carb sideways. It still worked, but it wasn't my favorite. And then it didn't fit on the other setup, but it fits on this setup now, so that's cool. That's good. I have one of these push Buttony shifter deals, go through gears. I just figured out that you can actually power shift and not throw chains, so that's kind of cool. I'm gonna be doing that more. Oh yes, this was also hugely, like absolutely essential. I wouldn't be running right now without it. Was this tensioner that started as the sick bike parts drive gear tensioner, and it has a little like wheelie guys, like these things on the derailleur, these little gears, and they just kept jumping off the chain, and that's my fault because this chain without these two, there's one spring here and it's relatively, it worked, but it was still skipping, so I just put this big beefy guy on and it's now not skipping whatsoever, and it's awesome. But this tensioner was an absolute must, and having these rollers was way better than having actual gear with teeth that interlocked here. They help keep it in line, and also, yeah, it's just better. And I also added this chain guide on the inside so that when I'm in the low gears on the back, it doesn't throw the chain to the inside up front here, which happened like once or twice. So I just put this guide in here, and I don't know if it's helping or not, but it's not in the way, so it's gonna stay there. And I think that's it. This was really the secret. This complex monstrosity of chain tensioning, gear, roller system things is really nice. So I'll probably throw on a helmet, fire it up, and take a little bit of a ride. Gotta turn your fuel on, kiddies.